Some questions. You can tell I'm putting my glasses on, taking this seriously, because I'm going to ask some questions from your fans on our planet. We call it the planet because it rotates and it's got good people and bad people in the social life. mtv.co.uk/MTV2. We start with the Gonzo Classic. This from Waymart, a regular. Favourite cheese?
Cheddar.
Any particular? Mild, mature?
You know, some reason the cheddar over here in England is awesome.
What you got in New Zealand?
Really?
Killer cheddar.
Killer cheddar?
Seriously.
Like, you can go into, like, a drugstore and get good cheddar here.
Yeah. You more mature, man?
It's sharp.
Yeah, it is. Try it on a piece of Vogel's. You know the Vogel's toast you get? The hard grain.
Right.
Get the Vogel's toast. Smear a little avocado, put it in a bowl, put a little Worcester sauce, and a tiny bit of mayonnaise, squeeze a lemon, mash it up, put it down, put the cheddar down, let it melt slightly. Smear it over like a spread. Kills it.
Did you come up with that in college, or is that a...
Yeah, my mum's boyfriend back in the day told me that. It's carried with me forever, right? This one from Coughing Up Blood. What did you immediately think once you heard about the article published in the Daily Mail which tried to villainise musicians like MCR and their peers for basically encouraging kids to self-harm, which is...
I was disappointed but not shocked. I mean, you know, there's a lot of examples of ignorant journalism, and that's one of them. Yeah, there's sensational headlines all the time, even in the States. And I was disappointed, though, because it's clear that we don't promote self-harm, and, in fact, the opposite. And, you know, there's not only been letters and articles about it, our mothers writing in, there's just been, I mean, that's what we say in between the songs.
But didn't you think on stage when you were going Daily Mail that ultimately you're playing into their hands a little bit by giving them something to sensationalise it even further? That's kind of what they want in a way.
I guess it's what they want. I don't know if it's what they want. I don't know if I'm playing into it. I just wanted to hear a lot of people say, yeah. It was just, that was a personal thing for myself. You know, but no, I was disappointed because it was, you read it, have you read it? It's so crazy, it's so ignorant.
No, I heard all about it and I was like, I think I'll leave that one for the final.
Right.
This one from Polar Zario. I saw The Breakfast Monkey on the internet. Tell us about The Breakfast Monkey.
That was the last thing I was working on art-wise before I quit, right before 9/11 happened. And it was this cartoon me and two of my friends worked on, and I was actually a photocopy boy at this cartoon that Cartoon Network was producing. And I somehow ended up getting an option, for a cartoon. And I was just, you know, this photocopy boy that ended up having a show that almost got made. So, so it was pretty cool.
It's good. They said it's good. It's, they said it was great.
It was one of the first collaborations musically between me and Ray Toro.
Really?
Is in that cinematic.
I love that. Tell me if this is true or false. Apparently it was about a Scandinavian flying imp who harnessed a special power called breakfast magic, allowing him to create and manipulate an assorted menu of breakfast food. However, Cartoon Network turned the pitch down because they already had a food-related show in production called Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
This is true. I remember when we had the meeting and the woman from Atlanta, she goes, well, we just bought this show,
Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
It's got food.
How can you keep a straight face when you're in a meeting with someone and you're pitching something and they go, we love your idea, but we've already got Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah.
So surreal.
Right, and then when they said the title of the show, I was like, well, what is that? I have no idea. And then, of course, it goes on to be one of my favorite shows, you know.
There you go.
So I think I'm in the right place, they're in the right place.
Clip to the post by Ben Johnson.
Right.
All right, this one. From Crop Circle Hair. Are you continuing with the elaborate videos that you've adopted or going back to basics? Judging from the new album, I'd imagine that it's going to be quite elaborate.
Yes, completely elaborate. And then we got a surprise for the second one, actually. I don't think it's what people would expect at all from us.
Is that going to be the one we've talked about?
I think so.
Is it going to be that one?
I don't know. I can't say.
All right.
I can't say. Look, Brian's looking at me.
Well, there's one song. Look at the look on his face. He's literally got this.
He's got that look. We got to keep some of the aces under the.
Yeah, no, I understand. Well, it's the one I've heard, mate. It's a bona fide anthem.
The first video is unbelievable. It was great working with Sam, and it's completely, as you would expect, completely over the top.
Sam Bayer.
Yeah.
Holy moly, man. Yeah. He's a nut job, isn't he?
He's awesome.
You're not giving me what I want.
He was exactly what we wanted. He was, you know, just bat insane. We loved it.
I haven't heard that for a while. Bat. That's good. I'm going to reapply that. We're going to end this in a nice way. So Ollie would like you to say and wave hi to his girlfriend Denise and just say, hello, Denise.
Hi, Denise.
We don't do shout-outs, but Ollie, you got one over on us. It's good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Zane.
How are you, man?
Very good.
Word up. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You only just bought the concept album of the decade. Don't worry about it. It's called Black Parade.
Right.
And the first single, Welcome to Black Parade. We're going to get to all of that. In the meantime, you didn't muck around.
No, no,
back in the studio.
Right back in. I think we had 3 weeks off. I went to Japan. I think the guys went home and rested, and then we met up in New York City and just sifted through about 18 songs. And
You've been writing on the road and stuff like that?
We wrote a lot on the road. We built a studio in the back of the bus on Warped Tour.
Yeah.
So,
it's kind of an intimate place to create.
Yeah, it was. You could only really fit about a couple guys at a time as far as writing.
So you're just using Pro Tools or Logic or something like that?
Yeah.
Give yourself a drum track and then writing riffs?
Right. I think we actually had an electronic drum kit jammed in there, so there was like no room.
I want to hear those demos, the Dirty Bitch Party, the My Chemical Romance remix.
They're not bad. There's and then we put it into an M box, and and then
took it from there.
So yeah.
Why'd you go to Japan for a holiday? Pretty hectic place.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite countries in the whole world, and we always tour there, but I never get to really see the culture, so I went all over this time.
You're pretty big there. You sell records. You get.
Yeah, we had a really great slot at Summer Sonic. I think it was right before Muse. And
do you get recognized when you're on holiday at all? People kind of.
Yeah, but you know how they are. They're so respectful.
Yeah,
and then they would come, and take a picture. But they're just so nice.
Unlike us here in Gonzo, we like a little tickle. We like a little oyster. It seems what you really want to achieve right now, and I've seen this with a few bands coming back, and I think it's a very positive step, is you want to take yourselves away from necessarily being an alternative band to being a classic rock band.
Yeah, I mean, even more so, I think, we got that emo label real early on, I think because geographically where we were from, and we've never fit into that.
Also, your heart's on your sleeve, and that seems to be pretty easy.
I think that's why. That's an easy way to kind of tag a band, but, we pulled away, obviously, tremendously far from that. There's no reason you could even put the two words in the same sentence now, but even still, like, it's less alternative. Even it's we tried to make a classic album. Yeah, you've done so, and I think every great rock band needs to at least have a crack at a concept album in a loose sense of the word, right?
Or really, like even Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness is a concept album effectively. Right. If you look at it going across both, you name both sides, you look at it that way, even though it's not necessarily telling a complete story. Right. You guys have gone 10 steps further than that, and you've created a plot, a plot, a story.
And, going into this record, the game plan, there was 3 records that really inspired us. It was Queen's Night at the Opera, Pink Floyd's The Wall, and then Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's. Right. Those 3 records.
Setting the bar low then.
Yeah, right. But, effectively, I had always seen this record as our melancholy. And the aesthetic's a little borrowed from it as well, as you'll see in the packaging and things like that. So, because I had felt the Revenge was like our Siamese. I love the Pumpkins. They're my favorite rock band.
Well, we've bonded over this before, and I'm the same. I'm a huge fan of Billy and the entire band through their entire ages. And when I listen to your music at this point, I feel that you have stepped up conceptually, but also sonically in terms of the instruments that you're incorporating. The first time I heard Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, when I heard Tonight, like, it wasn't the same band to me,
Yeah, wow, they dropped strings right away on that record.
Straight in, I mean, off the piano intro, straight into that, and then, of course, into Jelly, and it's just all over. But, from you, same thing with you guys. I mean, you must be aware of the fact that for some of your core fans, you're pushing them to trust you even further.
I think so. Well, the thing about our fans is I think, they're just very smart, and I think they expect this. I think they're going to be very proud of this record. I think they would be disappointed if the record wasn't as over the top as it was. I think they'd just be like, they didn't have what I thought they had. I think.
First single, Welcome to the Black Parade, a title track of sorts, an introduction to the album and what you guys are establishing, and definitely throwing down the template as to what people can expect from the record. You've thrown a lot into the mix. Right. By the end of it, you're exhausted from the listen. You want to go around again, but it is like a roller coaster ride in that sense.
It is.
Was it tough to choose that as a first single? Well, once you started working on the record, did you have it clearly mapped out as to how it was going to run?
Well, that was the hardest and longest song or track. It was one of the last songs that came together. Once we heard it in its final, complete version, everybody in the room was like, that's got to be the first one.
Yeah, well, it makes sense because, like I just said before, it very much lays down the idea of what you're trying to say with the Black Parade.
Right.
And it also, like great radio songs that have come before it, I speak from somebody who works on the radio, there's something for everyone to connect to, but it's an ambitious production.
Yes.
And I'm probably going to get crucified by radio